The University Tower chimes ring in another session of Ask the Professor, the show in which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. I'm your host, Matt Maggio, and let me introduce to you our panel for today. To my left, he's wearing a Beatles shirt.
Yay!
So who else could it be?
It's
I don't know.
Professor Beth Oljar.
It's very good to be here, Matt.
Very good. What did you think about that meme I showed you where the cat is wearing flip-flops?
I loved it. I'd seen it before, but just the idea of a cat wearing flip-flops it wasn't quite as entertaining as Crumbs, the 38-pound cat.
Everybody needs to get on their phones right now and look up Crumbs, the 38-pound cat.
Is this
who
a
was
real
found
cat?
in
This
an
is a real
abandoned
cat.
building and just kept eating.
Everybody kept feeding it, probably assuming they were the only ones feeding it. And,
Right.
You know,
Right.
Isn't there a certain point, like when the cat reaches 20 pounds, don't you kind of make the assumption that somebody else is feeding the cat too?
I'm not sure the animal's skeleton. Okay, I see. A certain someone has looked up. The cat is quite large,
Doesn't the cat ever feel full?
but I don't think its skeleton can support that.
they
mass.
can't even take an X-ray of it because there's so many.
You can. It's called an MRI.
At what point does this become abusive? I mean,
Yeah.
No,
Poor
I don't know who was
kitty.
involved. Who was
It
involved?
made me feel better about Mia, though.
I know. I was
Only
actually
weighing
going to say
17
that.
pounds, so
I wasn't going to body shame Mia on the
I
air.
know. She always says, Annie Heather says not to body shame me.
Oh my gosh.
What? It's true.
No, I know. It's just the voice that was being done. It sounds like Mia to
Oh,
me.
yeah.
It does.
Not to body shame the obese beast.
Right. Right. Well,
No body shaming, Mommy.
Nobody.
compared to Crumbs, Mia's svelte.
Yes.
Absolutely svelte. Professor Dave Chow is also here.
Pleasure to be here, as always.
I've seen you patrolling the neighborhood, as you are wont to do.
I do?
Yeah. Well, you were talking to all sorts of the movements and things on our street in these recent days.
Yes.
So they were like just leaving. That
They
day
were
that you
leaving.
out there,
They were shedding tears.
Oh, that's too bad. They had a good time in that house. That's good.
These are people who are one of your neighbors that's moving?
Yes. As soon as Miles moved in, everybody moved off the block.
No, it's true.
yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Just drives them away.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We have 3 houses, quote unquote, for sale right now.
They're getting out of the neighborhood before the Halloween light show.
Exactly. And can you blame them? I mean, seriously.
Oh, no. 2 have definitely sold. The other one's pending for my
Okay. All right. Well, see, the dean of the neighborhood.
Dean.
I got an email from Grandin Road yesterday with all their new Halloween decor, and I'm looking at it like Matt would just go ballistic.
If I was a millionaire, I
Yeah.
could buy one item from
Yes.
that catalog. That's a different story. Continuing around the table, Professor Dan Maggio is with us today.
Hello, Matt.
What's going on, Dan?
Not much. I
New,
made it through another week.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen the green polo. That's kind of cool.
Oh, I do like to
He's worn it before.
at least from like the chest up. I like to look like I'm working when I'm on Zoom.
That's my very favorite color.
Wait
that
a
dark
minute.
green.
I don't want to know what's going on below the table now.
No, nothing. Nothing to see.
We don't talk about
No
that.
one's feeding the 38-pound cat under the table. It was a long week for you, too, huh, Dan?
It was, even though it was only 4 days.
Oh, good
Oh,
point.
yeah.
And today, does anybody? So I had to go to the eye doctor today, and I had my eyes dilated as usual. But does it ever give you like a headache having to
Sometimes.
Yeah.
wait for 6 hours? I don't even know if my pupils look like I'm on like drugs still, but
Wow.
just the extra light.
So that's why.
So anyway, got quite the headache today from
But when I leave
Sorry
and
to
get
hear
in the
that.
car and hit a telephone pole, then I get a headache.
Yeah.
As a result of the
That'll do it.
stimulation. But it's
Oh,
not the.
was that you?
It's not the direct thing. Yeah.
Professor Jim Tubbs is with us today.
Yes, right, Honorable Matthew.
Thank you for coming. How was your travails last week?
Oh, it wasn't a travail. It was a great time in the mountains of North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful. Beautiful. We were
Wonderful.
right outside of Asheville.
Wonderful.
Oh, nice.
And it was nice. Very nice.
Lovely.
What have you got cooking for your teaching schedule this fall?
Well, I'm teaching 2 sections of healthcare ethics.
Of course.
All right.
So
Shocking,
Makes
not
sense.
shocking.
That is exactly what I would expect a full retiree to say. But it's
Yeah.
great that you do it
Some
because you
people
do it
are
very
slow
well.
learners.
That's all right.
Unclear on the concept.
That's all right.
Sometimes we just don't think things through.
That's right.
We've changed the locks and put up the moat, and Jim still shows up.
Yep, that's true. Continuing around the table, Professor Danielle Maxwell is joining us.
Thanks for having me back.
Thanks for coming back.
We didn't think you'd come back. After last
Did we
week.
scare her off? I wrote her an email like, we're really glad you're here.
We don't have many people. It's okay.
I told you folks not to wear deodorant.
It is well known in our department that on her very first day as an assistant professor, Professor Mara Livesey said, "When's retirement?" at the end of the day. And Danielle did not do that, so I think she's a keeper.
No, I did not do that. I have no concept of space and time anymore. That I'm still struggling with that. The day
That's a gift.
You're blessed.
is it a gift?
Blessed.
My Google Calendar tells me where I need to be at all times because I
That's
have
it.
no
If,
concept.
if Kant is right, you do have a concept of space and time, even if it seems like you don't. But
Okay, good.
Very
But
philosophical.
when was
Good to have that
Kant
default
right?
setting.
Does this mean that Mara's employment is tenuous
No, I wouldn't say so.
because of what you said?
No, not at all. I did not mean to imply that. It's just funny that on someone's literal first day of their career, they were wondering about retirement.
Yeah.
I think that is pretty laughable.
Even we didn't do that, did we?
Yeah.
No, neither one of us had that kind of foresight.
That's right.
I didn't have that kind of money.
So we'll introduce
Exactly.
Professor Stephen Manning. We've heard him chime in a couple times already. Please don't crash the motorcycle into anything. You know, that would make your head hurt. Isn't that what you said? Something along those lines?
No, what?
No, it's a sports car.
Oh, telephone pole. is
his
the
car
telephone.
into a telephone.
Oh, after the, yeah. No, I wouldn't ride the motorcycle after having the eyes dilated.
Right.
A little too risky.
That makes perfect sense.
It really hurts.
Yeah.
Even when they give you the
Yeah.
like fake sunglasses or something, it hurts to have that much light.
It's a
coming
Stevie
in.
Wonder look. That's all.
The fake sunglasses are pretty cool, though, I gotta say.
Oh yeah.
That's
They're
a
stylish.
That's a quality item.
That Roy Orbison feel.
Those plastic
The plastic
all the way
thing
around-
that
all the
just
way
sort of
around your
wobbles
head.
off your head. Yeah.
Without any of the musical gifts.
Have you saved all your pairs?
I have not, Professor Heather Hill, but it always brings me joy to hear you laugh.
Oh, that's so kind.
bit kind.
Thank you.
So that's why I said
Getting
it.
all verklempt.
Aw.
We have a special guest panelist, Professor Pat Pierce, coming to us all the way from.
Sort of South Bend, Indiana.
Sure.
Sort of South Bend. More accurately, Crumstown, outside South Bend, Indiana.
The greater metropolitan area.
Sure.
Do they have a lot of
I
cats?
was saying, do they have 38-pound cats just everywhere?
Literally what I was thinking. Like
Yeah, barn cats.
Do you have lots and lots of crumbs?
The family of Crumbs.
Oh,
The founding members were
Founding
the
family.
Crumb family.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
Who farmed mint that went to Wrigley's in Chicago.
cool.
Makes
So there's your
sense.
connection.
I've got some
Nice.
in my backyard. I
Nice.
wish Wrigley would come and take.
We're glad to have you, Pat, and this should be a rip-roaring time. Oh, how was it described before the mics came on? What'd you say? Goofy and
Silly?
silly and goofy? Whatever.
Something like that.
We'll take-
But yet erudite.
and yet erudite and eloquent.
At least I knew I'd fit in.
Awesome.
Are these the dwarves? What?
Oh my gosh. Folks, this is a program where you can send us questions regarding anything. If you stump the panel, you win a prize. If you don't stump the panel, you win a prize. You can send us the questions in a number of ways. Email us at atp@udmercy.edu. Find us on Facebook and Instagram, or listen on your favorite smart speaker by asking it to play Ask the Professor at University of Detroit Mercy. Hi, profs.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
I am way overdue for sending in some questions.
You
and
sure
Paul
are.
is out for more. Whoever you are. In the past, I have sent in famous first lines of songs or second lines of novels, so why not try some last lines? Enclosed is a list of 20 closing lines of famous novels. Your task is to name as many of the titles as you can. I'll let Professor Maggio decide what a passing grade is. Whatever.
20.
Thanks,
We all get A's.
as always, for the fine entertainment and mental shenanigans. Well, that's nice.
Mental shenanigans.
Yeah,
I like
Nat
that.
Pike of Livonia, Michigan, for sending these questions
Thank you.
in. That's
Thank you,
very
Nat.
awesome. Very cool.
I just got the news from my spouse that not only were 20% of Kamala Harris donors in August registered Republicans or independents, Dick Cheney, not Liz Cheney, who's endorsed Harris, Dick Cheney is voting for Kamala Harris.
DC himself.
I know, the
Wow.
Darth Vader of government. You know?
Yeah, that's somehow kind of disturbing.
Yeah, it is.
I know.
What does he think he knows that that we need to know?
Well, just that
That
there's
is
no way
choosing
we
to
can
do
let
it.
Trump anywhere near the Oval
You look at
Office.
this alternative.
Wow.
Cool.
I love the spouse back and forth. I think my wife sent me a recipe this afternoon, but this is more salient, I think.
Well, I've been a lot less lonely since the DNC, I'll tell you.
Excellent.
I felt less alone.
Awesome. Here we go, folks. These are the last lines of famous novels. These are
The end, right?
Actually, I'm just going to go all the way for the
He
jugular.
died.
Amen.
The end for all 20.
I'm
You're
going.
bound to get, what, 10 of
At
10
least,
of
right?
Whenever Nat sends us a question set, Nat ends it with fin. F-I-N at the very end. And
That's
so,
fine.
right.
Fin.
So when I went and I saw that, I'm like, well, obviously, that's the last line of the last question. But it wasn't. That's just the way the question set
Now, can you
comes.
tell me what movie also ended with Finn?
I mean,
At
many.
least one.
Oh, yeah.
Monty Python
a
and the
French-
Holy Grail.
Oh, that's right.
French one
Almost
did too.
positive.
A French one did too, like a
Oh.
Truffaut film. Or
I remember
Oh,
them.
I expect more than one French one.
The people who've been sacked have now been sacked. Miss Monty Python.
The people who sacked, the people who were sacked have
Now
now
been
been sacked.
sacked.
I didn't say.
That's wonderful. I haven't thought about Monty Python in a
Well,
long
plus
time.
Holy Grail is like the very best
Yeah.
scene about political science ever. When he meets the
Absolutely.
communist peasants.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Constitutional
I'm being
presence.
oppressed.
Now we see the violence inherent in the system.
We can just recite the entire movie
just
right
gonna say
now.
this.
We're just gonna relive it all over again.
How did you know that guy was king? That's all I'm going to say.
I didn't vote for you.
It was the devious cruising Rachel that in her retracing search after her missing children only found another
Friends.
orphan. Partial credit for Friends. That is not the famous novel. That is the last line.
Try.
1851.
Read it again.
Yeah.
It was the devious cruising Rachel that in her retracing search after her missing children only found another
Du
orphan.
Maurier? Daphne du Maurier? No, it's not Rebecca. It's
Not-
not.
It's an American
not
novel.
51. So Nathaniel Hawthorne?
That's a very good guess. It's a contemporary, but no.
Louisa May Alcott?
I'm like, how can I?
Margaret Fuller.
John Steinbeck?
Sounds
So
like.
someone is cruising.
I don't know.
And
He
so
was
I'm going to say
20th century.
Not
this is
contemporary.
a nautical book.
Like
Moby
Billy
Dick.
Budd, Moby Dick,
It's Moby Dick.
Moby
Oh,
Dick,
it is
yeah.
Moses. Yeah.
Melville. Shudder.
Call me
Yes.
Ishmael.
That's the first line.
Yeah, some of these have more context clues than others. For instance, the four-word last sentence, he loved Big Brother.
1984.
1984.
I've never read
Written
that.
in 1949. There's a joke in there somewhere.
Wonderful.
So we beat on boats against the current, borne
The Great
back
Gatsby.
ceaselessly into the past.
That's
the
my
Great
favorite book.
Gatsby, yes. 1925, F. Scott
Maybe
Fitzgerald.
we should
Wow.
play Name That Book and how many words it'll take.
Yeah, I know. That was
That's
3 words.
It's the best
Danielle.
book cover of
It
all
is.
time.
is.
Oh, with the green light.
Gorgeous.
With the eyes and it's so.
And now it's a Broadway musical.
Yes.
And the soundtrack is fantastic.
Well,
Wow.
and what I really want to do is have a little, martini in my hand and do the Leo, like from the movie. That's a classic meme. He would be there all night, and he would be there when Jem waked up in the
To
morning.
Kill a Mockingbird.
I said it correctly. He was waked up. To Kill a Mockingbird, 1960, Harper Lee. Don't ever tell anybody anything. If you do, you start missing everybody.
Wait a minute, that sounds like Jim's syllabus.
1951.
Don't ever.
It's not Jim's
Don't
syllabus.
ever tell anybody
Catcher in the
anything.
Rye?
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah,
say
it's the
Catcher in the Rye. Yep.
If you do, you start missing everybody.
Am I the only
Salinger.
one who didn't think that was a very good book?
It was a little dry, but I think that, based on who wrote it and when they wrote it, it had some important bits about
It's
it.
the same. I mean, like The Great Gatsby. There's just no characters in there that I
Relate
like,
to.
Yeah.
Sure.
and I always feel guilty about that because I know it's a classic.
It's okay to not like
even
a
Nick.
classic.
But it's
You don't
well written, unlikable
You don't
people.
like Nick Carraway, the narrator?
The Nickster.
Yet you love Succession.
I have never watched Succession.
Oh, oops.
I probably won't because Drew's like, no, I'm not watching. There's no character to root for.
Oh, this is true.
This
Well,
is
that's true. There is no character to root
He
for.
just wants an Ewok.
Anyway,
Yeah, I don't.
It's like
I don't know what to
minimizing
say
your
to
loathing.
Yes, it is. Exactly.
So context clues. But I reckon I got to light out for the territory ahead of the rest. Because Aunt Sally, she's going to adopt me and civilize me. And
Tom
I can't
Sawyer?
stand
Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer.
I've been there before. Actually, it's not Tom Sawyer.
Huckleberry
It's
Finn.
Huckleberry Finn, 1880.
The other one.
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't Mickey there.
The famous novel, The Other One.
That's right.
That's right.
From the context clues, I know you were able to catch that I said it that way. Civilized spelled with an S from the original text. Yes.
How do
That's
we?
the way
what?
Huck would have said it. Civilize.
Oh, civilized.
Missouri spelling.
Well, I'm back, he said.
The Terminator.
That's good.
Also partial credit.
I think
Yeah,
you
that's
should get full
I'd be
credit.
back.
Is it a Stephen King? No.
It is not 1955
Oh,
is the
okay.
year.
Well, I'm back.
Well, I'm back, he said.
Is it Catch-22?
Sounds like Porky
That's a
Pig.
good guess.
The character who says this line, his first name is Sam.
A Hobbit? I mean,
Sam.
Oh, is it?
It's not the Hobbit.
It's Lord.
Animal
It's Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. Sam was the only one who returned back to Hobbiton. Yep.
Isn't it the Shire?
The Shire. Hobbiton is the city they live in.
Oh, okay. Not a Tolkien fan either, so
That's
I've
all
never
right.
been able to
That's
get
all
into
right.
it.
He was soon borne away by the waves, lost in darkness and distance.
It's not the old man in the sea.
Nope, 1818. This is one old classic.
Oh, it's Frankenstein.
It's Frankenstein, yes.
Frankenstein.
Absolutely. Within 5 minutes of going to my 11th grade son's Meet the Teacher night, the English teacher is saying, we're doing Frankenstein to start because it's British Lit this year. And within 5 minutes, he had all the parents rapt at the way he was going to teach this
That's
book.
awesome.
He had the students answering 5 questions. How hard do you think it is to be a parent? Why do you think it's hard to be a parent? I was just like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a great class.
And holding up the picture of Peter Boyle didn't hurt either.
By the way, I was going to use it some other time in the show or elsewhere, but he started the bit about the way he teaches with, so British literature is really sad. I love it. That's oh, what a great teacher. The knife came down, missing him by inches, and he took off. 1961. I've never read this, but I know enough about it to be sort of like popular.
Is it a
Charlotte's
mis-
Web?
Ouch!
Oh, ow.
The butcher knife.
The Galloping Gourmet.
That ends with all of Charlotte's babies weaving new words in the web.
I've never read the book.
We may have actually already heard this as a response for a different question.
Friends?
No.
Catch-22?
It's Catch-22.
Catch-22.
That's Catch-22.
I haven't read that either.
I knew it wasn't Tom Sawyer.
Yeah.
I was going to go the major route.
Hannibal Lecter or somebody like that.
And the little screaming
Dear
fact
departed.
that sounds through all history, repression works only to strengthen and knit the repressed. 1939.
Brave New World.
You're in the wheelhouse.
Definitely not Gone with the Wind.
Animal Farm?
American.
It's not Animal Farm.
Is it Orwell?
Upton Sinclair?
Oh, nope.
That's a good guess, though.
John Dos Passos.
Willa
Cather?
Nope.
What year?
Can you give
1939.
1939.
If I say the word Dust Bowl, you'll know exactly.
Grapes of Wrath.
Grapes of Wrath.
Grapes of Wrath.
I was weeping again, drunk on the impossible past.
That's Jim Tubbs' syllabus.
No. 1955.
Could you repeat that?
It's mine, actually.
I was weeping again, drunk on the impossible past.
Year?
1955.
Oh, you already said that. I apologize.
That's all right. This is an extremely, even in the modern era, controversial book because of the pedophilia that goes throughout the entire story.
Lolita?
Oh,
Lolita by
Yeah.
Nabokov, yes.
I was going to say Days of Wine and Roses. Get
That
it?
book
Get
by
it?
Nabokov.
Oh, talk about depressing.
That book, yeah,
I
exactly.
know, right?
My favorite police
They
song.
should ban it.
I probably won't
burn
be
it,
able to
burn it.
say the whole line until one of you gets it. The history of all nations, from most primitive to most advanced, abounds in all kinds of errors, and everything is constantly changing. It's clear the universal law of history cannot be based on these constantly changing ideas. 1869.
It's not de Tocqueville.
Oh, Darwin.
It's not. It's not.
69.
I was thinking Darwin as
That's
well.
not Marx.
I was thinking John
It's not
Stuart
Marx,
Mill,
but I think you're leading in the right
Lenin?
direction. No,
1869.
1869. Everybody jokes until the modern era, right? Harry Potter and all that. That this was like the thickest book you could get at the library.
War and Peace.
Peace. Tolstoy.
Oh, the Manhattan Yellow Pages?
Yeah.
Oh.
The Manhattan Yellow Pages.
What are those?
But it was
I know
all.
what Yellow Pages are.
But it was all quite the opposite of what he had imagined. 1877. Same author.
Same author as
Tolstoy.
Also,
Anna Karenina?
Anna
Anna
Karenina.
Karenina.
Yes,
No,
very
war.
good.
What is it good for?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. Say it again.
Say it again.
Unless you get hit by a train.
All right, I'll go slow because I know you're all going to jump in. It is a far, far better thing that I do
Tale of
Charles
Two
Dickens,
Cities.
A
A Tale of Two Cities.
that I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest
Sidney
I go
Carton.
to than I have ever done.
Well, actually, Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan.
Yeah, that's
probably what some of us were thinking.
Hey,
That's okay too.
this side of the
all
table,
right.
maybe. I mean,
That's all right. It was not a story to pass on. 1987. A lot of us, I bet, have read this.
what, say that again?
It was not a story to pass on.
The Tom Brady playbook.
I nearly said the entire answer,
Is
but
it-
it was 1987.
It's not The Handmaid's Tale, is it?
Nope. Nope.
No, that came out in the 90s,
I think
right?
it was
No,
early
it was.
90s.
I thought it was earlier.
It was like
Anyway.
a Crichton or a...
Nope. Nope.
Say it again.
It was not a story to pass on.
1986.
1987.
7. I don't know
Seems
why
like it should be the end of a Stephen King novel. but-
Author initials TM.
Tom...
American author.
Toni Morrison?
Toni Morrison's
Beloved.
Oh,
Beloved.
Beloved.
Oh, yeah, that is not so
And to our bitter grief, with a smile and in silence, he died. A gallant gentleman.
Aw.
Kind of sad.
Of Mice and Men?
Nope.
What year?
But I'm giving you 1897, so you're getting there. You're
Okay.
getting there.
It should be Alexander Dumas, but I bet it's not.
I get the impression that many young people open up this book after so many years of it being around and expect it to be very different than what it actually is. I can't give any other clues. It's too obvious. Not the answer is not obvious.
Was it
but
was it turned into a movie at some point?
absolutely many, many times over.
Okay, well, that's leading me back to the Three Musketeers.
Not Three Musketeers.
Count of Monte Cristo?
Nope.
Gone with the Wind.
Think
The Wizard of Oz.
horror.
Horror.
Dracula?
It's Dracula.
Oh, Dracula.
Dracula.
Finally, a book I've read out of
Yeah,
this list.
see? I just get the impression that young people are like, sweet! And, oh my God, this is so long. Stoker.
Such a
funny
great book, though.
It's a great book.
It is a good book. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Last sentence, when we reach the city, 1953. American author, the line between fantasy and science fiction.
Arthur C. Clarke.
Getting there?
Asimov?
Nope, not Asimov.
Bradbury?
Bradbury.
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit
Fahrenheit
451.
451.
First line of which is, it was a pleasure to burn.
Mm-hmm. When we reach
It's a
the
great
city.
opening line.
Yep.
It's a great book.
He turned away to give them time to pull themselves together and waited, allowing his eyes to rest on the trim cruiser in the distance.
Trim Cruiser.
So a car?
1954.
Cruiser.
Could
Christine.
be a car, could
Oh.
be a boat.
Christine.
Oh, it could be a boat, yeah.
It is a boat.
Oh.
It is referring to a boat that is coming to rescue somebody.
Titanic? Oh.
1954.
Gilligan and
Gilligan's
Skipper?
Island.
Um,
I was going to think of that.
Gilligan.
Come on, Jim.
No,
this
the
is a
novel that
ocean liner
Gilligan was
cruise.
based on.
What's the book with the boys on the island? That's the book.
That is
oh,
correct.
Lord of the
Lord of the
Flies.
Flies.
Lies.
That's good enough.
Danielle gets credit for that because she.
We have a number of different generations represented
What a
at this table.
setup.
Wow. Read the last line again, please.
He turned away to give them time to pull themselves together and waited, allowing his eyes to rest on the trim cruiser in the distance, coming to rescue them. Yep.
They needed to pull themselves together.
Yep.
They did.
Well, they turned it into a sequence of movies now. It's The Purge, so not
Basically,
exactly the same, but similar. Yeah.
That's true. It was his beauty that had ruined him. His beauty and the youth he had prayed for.
That's Jim Thompson.
Oh, the picture of Dorian
Dorian
Gray.
Gray.
Picture of
Dorian
Dorian
Gray.
Gray. What a great
Is it the
that
portrait
is.
or the picture? Picture.
The picture.
Picture.
I was cured all right. 1962.
I was cured all right.
Ooh, I thought that was going to be enough of a clue.
One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
No. You're,
Good
as
guess,
I always
though.
say, in the wheelhouse.
Was it a
That's great
disease
guess.
or a personal affliction?
It was an affliction of a way of thinking a certain way.
Beth? Philosophical anything?
1962, author's initials A.B. I thought that
Cured of racism?
Cured of a psychological disorder.
made into an extremely disturbing, downright abstract.
Oh, is that the movie where they pin the eyes open?
Oh, A Clockwork
Oh,
Orange.
Clockwork Orange.
Thank you.
That is the one movie.
I don't
where
remember
Drew's
the title, but I remember that.
Really, really.
You'll never
don't
forget
think
it
That
now.
particular.
Malcolm McDowell.
You would find it way too disturbing.
It's
The
messed
milk
up.
bar.
Yeah, it's messed up. That is for dang sure. So Nat has finished the list. That was the 20, and we all did very, very great. Bonus extremely difficult one. I think this might be tongue in cheek, but I could be wrong. 1936. After all, tomorrow is another day.
Gone with the
Gone
wind.
Gone with the wind.
I believe that was
Tomorrow at Tara.
that
Which
was a little
actually
bit,
is one of my favorite books. I really
Is it one of your favorite
yeah,
books?
My
I,
niece's favorite book.
I think
yeah.
it's
Okay.
really well
It's one of my
written.
favorite Carol Burnett comedy skits. Too.
Oh, yes.
Yes, who can forget that?
My dear, you look much less hideous than usual tonight.
And I thought the follow-up to it, called Scarlet, was actually pretty good.
I remember that. I remember when that was like modern times it came out,
Was
right?
it Timothy Dalton?
We just have a couple of minutes left, and we can go to the list of imponderables, from Frank and the Family Burrows. So they just ask us questions, and we respond to it. Favorite musical? I mean, I don't know if we've ever talked about stuff like this before. You could do it in any different direction. It could be The Great Gatsby.
Hamilton.
You know, Hamilton's wonderful.
I don't. I mean, I've got other favorites.
That's
but
such a
Hamilton
great
is
one.
I
though.
still like Les Mis.
totally
Les Mis is
wonderful.
good.
The Lion King.
The Lion King.
I would
Those
say
costumes.
Cabaret.
Fantastic.
Yes. Cabaret.
Cabaret.
Funny Girl
Funny Girl.
Oh, Leah
or
Michelle.
Yentl.
Yentl.
Big Bar. Oh, are you kidding?
Barbara Streisand.
When I
No,
got
remember
admitted
this.
in, when I got my letter, like you're into graduate school, like I went and listened to that entire soundtrack, start
That's
to finish,
nice.
because I
That's
so
nice.
identified with her, her character.
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I'm.
I really like
confess.
Kiki Boots, too. That's a good
Chicago.
one.
That's pretty modern. in there.
Chicago.
That's Cindy
Chicago
Lauper.
is very good.
And Harvey Fierstein.
Wicked is very
Wicked
good.
is amazing, yes.
Spamalot is awesome.
Spamalot.
Never seen Spamalot.
Oh, it's very,
Grease is
very
really
funny.
good.
Phantom of the Opera?
Oh, that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, that's a real good one. Oh,
No one's mentioned the one that comes to my mind all the time.
what
And
the
Cats?
Technicolor?
Technicolor Dreamcoat is a wonderful
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
I like that, but I have
Oklahoma.
a soft spot in my heart for Jesus Christ Superstar.
Okay,
it's
all right.
it's a
That's
long
because
story.
the songs are
Yeah.
freaking
Oh,
awesome.
They're awesome. It's pretty
Freaking.
solid rock.
Awesomely freakish.
Solid rock.
Oklahoma was always a good one because we did that
Freakful.
one in high school. I love that one.
Steven, I haven't heard anything from you yet.
Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, I'm sorry. Phantom of the Opera, of course.
Pat, what about
Lloyd
you?
Webber, of course.
Yeah.
Come on, Pat. You can't be shy about this one.
I don't do musicals.
Oh,
It's okay. It's not
It's
everybody's.
not a genre for
Just
everybody.
don't.
I mean,
I love music, hate musicals.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
no, that's totally
That's
reasonable.
fair.
Yeah. Everything's being turned into a musical
Yes,
now.
it
There
is.
is a Back to the Future musical.
Oh,
So
no.
It's been out for many years, actually, and it's quite successful.
What about Beetlejuice the musical?
That's because they can't come up with anything original.
oh, Jersey Boys, Dan.
Jersey Boys is
That's-
awesome. I've seen that.
When they made the Titanic musical, I thought something is wrong here.
And music was very prominent in the movie, too, so you know you could imagine turning it into something
Different music.
Yeah, different.
We should come up with some movies that should never be turned into musicals.
Yeah.
You know, like Hannibal Lecter, the
Yeah, but
musical.
you can't say things like that.
Oh.
Because like 12 years ago, you would have said, "Well, they'll never turn Beetlejuice into a
True, and they
musical,"
did.
And, you know, they do it. So yeah, that's sometimes the way it works out.
In 1984, the musical.
Wait, that might actually exist for some
I
reason.
know. It would not surprise me.
The South Park movie was a musical.
True.
And those guys made the Book of Mormon one of the most successful
Yeah.
musicals
Which
of all
I have
time.
not seen ever. and
man.
I wish I had.
I'm telling
You
right
still
now.
haven't seen it? I remember how much you
I
wanted
haven't
to.
not seen that yet.
It's funny.
It's hilarious.
I hear that it is roll on the ground funny. It's like
That's what I would expect.
that's what I would expect from those guys. Thank you everybody for coming today. We had a really, really good time, but I'm afraid the time has come for us to say goodbye. Heather,
Bye-bye.
Stephen,
Goodbye.
Pat,
Bye.
Danielle,
Adios.
Jim,
Goodbye.
Dan,
So long.
Dave,
Farewell.
See ya.
and Beth.
I'm a sad panda.
And now these words from the number 43 ranked Wall Street Journal, University of Detroit Mercy.
You can email Ask the Professor at atp@udmercy.edu or visit the Ask the Professor Facebook page.
Ask the Professor is produced and directed by Michael Jason and Brian Masonville, and our executive producer is Professor Jason Roach. Until next week, I'm your host, Matt Maio.